take us through Atticus's illness. He's diagnosed with cataracts. He needs surgery. Take it from there.
Dr. Grillo calls back and says there's a problem, and it's something that takes precedent over cataracts. We found a blood test showed that he has hyperthyroidism. And I said, I don't know what that is. And he said it's extremely rare in dogs, and it equates to thyroid cancer oftentimes. So the little dog who had climbed 81 mountains to fight cancer now looked like he had it. A subsequent test showed the same results. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any money. I'd spent it all fighting cancer with raising money for the winter, and I neglected my newspaper. But I've been writing a blog, and I've been writing about a paper, what we had done. And out of nowhere, in 3 weeks' time, cancer survivors, school children, business owners in Newburyport, friends, politicians, honest cops, even a couple of cops I would have called dirty in the past, and hikers sent in $9,000 for his eye surgery and whatever else he would need. He had the eye surgery, everything went well, and then we scheduled an appointment with Angell Animal Medical Center with Maureen Carroll, an incredible internist there, to take care of his thyroid cancer. And we went in, supposed thyroid cancer, the hyperthyroidism. And we went to the doctor that day, and I said to her, what's the chance this could be a fluke, that he doesn't really have it? The blood test was wrong. She said, 1 test, yes. 2 tests, no, most likely not. So most likely he probably, we'll see what happens with the blood test, but most likely we have to deal with this, and this will show us where to start. But leaving Angell Animal Medical Center, I felt this great hope because everyone there was so pleasant and so nice, including Maureen and Ann Nowitzki, her aide. A week later, I got a call that had disappeared, and she couldn't figure out why. Ann was on the phone with me saying, we just can't, whether it's the power of prayer, whether it's the power of friendship. And of course, there's a little Tibetan monk that comes involved at this time too.
Just wonderful. I mean,
so a clean bill of health. He can see. We go back for regular checkups for his blood work, and he's fine. Nothing.
But that's not the end of your relationship with Angell Memorial.
No.
Tell us about that.
Well, as you know, I don't know if you ever saw the movie with Burt Reynolds in the 70s or the 80s. I think it was the 70s, called The End, where he wants to kill himself.
No,
and it's with Dom DeLuise.
Yeah.
And they were always in these movies together. And Dom DeLuise is a split personality. He's a regular dumpy guy, and then he becomes this superhero called Him. Dun, 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 and he shows up. And so Burt Reynolds decides he wants to kill himself, but every time he tries, he chickens out. So he enlists the superhero's help to help kill him. And he decides at the very end of the movie, he runs out in the ocean and he swims out as far as he can to drown. And he says, I will kill myself this way. And he can't swim. And then he starts to drown. He's going to die. And he's finally saying goodbye to God. And then he decides he wants to live. So he says, God, help me. Save me in any way you can. I'll swim back to shore. If you teach me to swim, I'll give you everything I make a year. And then he starts making it.
The prayer of the hopeless. Go ahead.
He gets about halfway in and he says, God, thank you. I'm going to do it. I need some more help. Could you get me a little bit further? If you get me there, I'll give you half of what I make. And he only a quarter way to go. And he said, God, I think I'm going to make it. I'll give you 10%. And then he gets to shore and he says, can I just say thank you? Would that even us up? But when Atticus was diagnosed, I was floored. I was devastated. No matter how much they said it had nothing to do with my choices, I felt guilty. And I made a promise to God and to Atticus that if we survived this, I would sell the newspaper, and Atticus and I would move up to the mountains where he was happiest. And that's what, in a roundabout way, we ended up doing that. And watching Atticus look out with his new eyes one day off of Franconia Ridge, or Cannon Mountain, one of the two, I came up with the idea of raising money for Angell Animal Medical Center. They'd given us so much hope, and I wanted to pay back to other people who had helped us. So we would attempt to do the same quest, 96 Peaks in 90 Days, to raise money for Angell Animal Medical Center during the winter of 2007-2008.
And I must applaud you for that. Thank you.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.